But first, I want to start with crime. And before I tell you where the Democratic Party is on law and order in America, let me remind you where they have been. Remember this.
Yes, I support the defund movement.
Not only do we need to defund, but we need to dismantle and start anew.
Why use the word defund? Why use the word defund? And it's like, this is the word that's coming from the streets.
In many cities in America, over 1/3 of their city budget goes to police. So we have to have this conversation. What are we doing?
Right. We need social workers, remember? This naturally resulting in anarchy in every major city because a lot of people listen to them. And the mass resignation of quality cops ensued. Remember this.
Bail reform for many years was based on how much money you had. If you're rich, you get out. If you're poor, you sit.
There are so many people who are not a threat, who should not be held simply because they can't afford the bail.
We are showing that the reforms that we put in place are working. Crime is coming down. It will continue to go down.
He is not telling the truth. Shocker, crime rose anyway, and studies show that 66% of those criminals released under bail reform were rearrested again within 2 years of release. Remember when the Democrats thought the problem for illegal immigrants in America was ICE and its cooperation with law enforcement?
Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power and the discretion at ICE is being used to enforce the laws? And do you see any parallels?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception
that puts ICE in the same category as the KKK? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, she was asking that. Well, as you can imagine, the sentiment backfired, with chaos ensuing in every major sanctuary city in this country. But we can't say we didn't tell you this was going to happen.
To secure the border, stop illegal immigration, pass case law, end sanctuary cities, end chain migration, cancel the ridiculous visa lottery, and keep the criminal drug dealers and terrorists the hell out of our country.
Makes more sense every day. Now, suddenly, hold on to something steady, the left has seen the light. The White House is now calling for sanctuary cities to cooperate with ICE. And it's no surprise because of the results of the liberal soft-on-crime approach has been nothing short of catastrophic.
No! Please be cooperative. No! All right, you know what? That. Oh, you go! Oh!
Yeah, really working out well, right? Well, it finally seems the big blue cities have had enough. It's just funny that it happens to be an election year. Or is it a coincidence? In D.C., lawmakers passed a secure D.C. anti-crime bill. Yes, you heard that. Anti-crime. Happened this week because business groups continue to warn of an alarming trend of violence. I guess the carjackings weren't working out. New York, subway crimes are up 20%. The governor decided it's time to call in the National Guard and state police to help curb violent crimes in the city's subway system. I'm in the subway every day. Maybe a train conductor getting brutally slashed in the neck for no apparent reason while doing his job had something to do with it. The very progressive city of San Francisco making a major shift, overwhelmingly voting in favor of a law and order ballot. Yep, backed by the city's Democratic mayor, facing re-election. That will allow police to better pursue suspects and require drug testing for welfare recipients. Who wrote that, Donald Trump? Well, I guess a retail crime wave, ton of burglaries, rampant drug use isn't the best campaign to run on. What do you think? Oregon, the state. Remember where you can do any drug, anytime, anywhere? What's the big deal? Well, skyrocketing overdose deaths and public drug usage has compelled the state legislature to reintroduce criminal penalties for possession. They panicked. It turns out the whole experiment was a bad move. After all, who would have thought open drug use would be a problem? Look, Democrats had their chance. 4 years to turn it around, to distance themselves from their 2020 criminals are good, cops are bad stance. This is a step in the right direction. I will give them that. But the damage has already been done. Countless lives have already been lost. And due to theft, businesses have already been shut down. This cannot be negated. As for those voters you are trying so hard to persuade, their memory can't be negated either. Think about this. Should a pyromaniac who lit a whole neighborhood on fire get credit for putting out the flames just because they happen to be a firefighter? Democrats want credit for putting out the fire that they stoked. I am sorry. I am just not sold yet on this reversal. We remember how it started, and so do the people in these blue cities, and the red states for that matter. We all know who broke it. We just don't know, or if I don't know, if I can trust them to fix it. In November, you'll find out if all is forgiven, although they haven't asked for forgiveness. Joining us now, a man who's been all over this, best-selling author, writer, journalist for the City Journal, Chris Rufo. Chris, great to see you. How did we get here where the Democrats agree more with you than their old philosophy?
I mean, it's quite simple. It's because they've unleashed chaos, and people, especially people who are living in big blue cities, don't like chaos. They don't like rampant crime. They don't like tents, homelessness, drug addiction. They don't like feeling that their lives are in danger simply by riding the subway or walking down the street. I've been warning that this would happen since I started reporting on urban dysfunction in 2019 before the great George Floyd revolution. And just like clockwork, if you let criminals out, if you shut down prisons, if you allow people to do drugs and commit property crimes, guess what? You get more of those things. And so these are encouraging signs, but it's just the beginning. I think we need to seriously consider doubling the prison population in this country by focusing on violent criminals, repeat offenders, and people who simply cannot stop committing crimes with sometimes dozens or even hundreds of offenses in these cities. If we did that, we'd see a plummeting of crime by more than 50% because, of course, a vanishingly small minority of individuals and repeat offenders commit the vast majority of crimes. You
talk about something that's already happened. In Seattle, they elected a moderate mayor, a Republican city attorney. Citizen rage is rising up, and I guess they could be paying the price at the ballot box in November. Is there any reason to think this is going to stay and stick? That if the Democrats want to stay in office, they actually believe what they're doing and do what they say?
Well, there's one key thing that we need to think about in order for that to happen. It's to create counter institutions in all of these cities. Look, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles have been dominated by the left, by unions, by universities, by left-wing activist groups, by philanthropists who dump money into defund the police and decarceration schemes. And so wealthy, successful people in these cities need to start opening up their checkbooks and funding new organizations, new leaders, new investigative journalists to try to take these cities back. I'm involved in some of these efforts, and so far the signs are encouraging. We have people in finance, tech, real estate, and other industries finally waking up to say, if we don't turn this around, if we don't reestablish law and order, these cities are only going to continue to slide down the drain.
If people want to know the rise of Donald Trump and the reasons for it, you can go a lot of different places. I think this is primary because a lot of the things he ran on in 2016 that he's talked out since he became a public figure, there's more of a need now than ever because we tried doing the opposite and it hasn't worked. Final thought?
Well, this could be 1968 all over again. Of course, there were widespread riots in 1968, and then the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, where it will be held again this year, suffered from chaos and rioting, ushering in the election of Richard Nixon. If history repeats itself in this same kind of manner, we will see the second election of Donald Trump. I certainly hope that that happens. And I hope that it happens as soon as possible.
Right. I know you're doing work for Ron DeSantis in Florida. Real quick, in California, to show we're not out of the woods yet, they have decided to use taxpayer money to pay high school students $1,400 to become, hold your ears, social justice warriors. They want them to go out there and learn to demonstrate and take action. But of course, it doesn't come organically. These kids are going to get paid, and this could be a lifetime journey for them. This worries me. Does it worry you?
It absolutely does, and unfortunately, it's embedded in the California state curriculum for all K through 12 schools statewide, not the specific program, but the general idea of training kids to be activists for left-wing social causes. Look, I'm not going to mince words. They're creating, in essence, child soldiers for their revolution. I think it's despicable. I think it's bad for the country. And I think that any parent in California that has a whit of sense about them would be fighting this and then finding a better type of school for their kids.
Chris Rufo, thanks so much. Always appreciate it. You're always ahead of the curve. Thanks so much for sharing your quality time on a Saturday night.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.